live streaming. It's standing room only. Please take your seats. That's what we want to hold in mind. That's right. Or as today's talk might suggest, that's the intention we'd like to say. So this is a song that I just really appreciate you joining in on. It's called Step in the Arms, and it was created as a result of a question I asked the congregation. What would you like to experience when you walk through a place like this? And a bunch of words and phrases were brought up, a bunch of ideas and feelings were brought up. I strung them together as put them to a tune, and this is what happened. Step into the arms of love. It's a feeling you can take hold of. Join us in our celebration. Feel the grace of embrace the friendship when you become a healing and inspiration. And concentration, freedom and peace. I say amen. Join me out. Amen. 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 I say amen. 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 And so we oh, you are magnificent. The gong was hidden from view. Well, nothing is lost, ever. Please join me in consciousness, prayer, holding this holy space deep within your heart, knowing that the presence of God is right here, right now, in this very place. In and around and through this magnificent sanctuary here in Pasadena, but it's more than that. The presence of God is in, around, and through each and every one of us. In fact, it's operating as us. We often feel that the presence of God is love. We really appreciate that idea, that understanding, because we can draw that feeling of love within us upon command. We are used to it. We are practiced in it. And we do that right now. We draw to our conscious awareness that love for one another, love for life, love for the goodness of life, love for spirit operating through us as us, love for one another, love for unity of Pasadena and each of the congregants, and all those who will come in the future, drawn to us by a magnet of spirituality, practical spirituality, in a place where we absolutely enjoy each other. And we do so because we have people who really make this experience happen. We have prayer chaplains who hold the light here. Some are standing up right now holding the light. We're so thankful for them. They're practiced in prayer, and they're here to give prayer to you at the end of service if you so desire. You just stay seated in your seat, and they'll come to you. We're so thankful for our musician, for Mitch. And today Michelle's going to do a little singing too, and we are just excited about that. Our musicians are guided by the spiritual light of love. We're so happy to have volunteers who greet us as we come in, and help us to serve the food and to bring the food and to do the things that are necessary for us to have live stream, for us to have PowerPoint. We're so thankful for our board of trustees who step into this every single day to make sure that we have what is necessary for us to do what we need to do. Our intention is to be a light, and we are. I'm so grateful for that. I release this into the law of mind, knowing that it's already done, and please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. So good to see you guys. So, we're going to do Holy Holy in a different way.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Holy Holy. You didn't think I was going to do that, did you?
No.
You thought I was kidding.
Oh.
Are you ready for a little excitement? Do you like excitement? So this is the intent behind it, okay? We're talking about intention today. We're going to be talking about intention. But this is about intent. My intent is to make you aware and in the present moment. And you're going to really, really be snapped into the present moment here. What do you think?
I think it's going to be wonderful to hear you play drums.
Okay. Well, it's just a light percussion. I don't really step.
Okay. Thank you, God.
Holy, 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 you guys.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are, I'm telling you now, we are holy, holy, holy. Because we are holy. Oh, now I said, you are holy, holy, holy. Turn to your neighbor and say, oh, you are holy. I can hear you. Oh, yeah. You are holy, holy, holy. Oh, now I say, Spirit divine, come to me. Feeling love, open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love that lives oh, I am holy, holy, holy. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I am holy, holy. Because I am holy down into a prayer. I am holy, holy. Oh, thank you, God, for saying, let me know I am holy, holy, holy. I feel your presence coming every day. I am holy, holy. Because I know I accept and I say yes. Because I am holy.
All right. Are you alive and aware and awake? Yes. How foolish. So, one time the president asked me, "Have you?" I said, "We." And we're ready to do it, which is really an important aspect of doing it. You gotta be. So Thank you, Michelle. Where'd she go? Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Mitch. Yay.
As if you haven't already been welcomed. You have made it to Unity of Pasadena. What we often do is a statement of unity, and I'd like to do that with you today. Please say after me, there's only one thing.
There's only one thing.
It may look like more than one thing.
It may look like more.
It may feel like more than one thing.
It may feel like more.
But it's only
But it's only one thing.
expressing His
Expressing His you.
expressing His peace,
Expressing His you.
and everything we see.
Everything we see.
Fabulous stuff. Unity of Pasadena is a magnificent space, and what we do is we love each other. What we do is we pay attention to the truth of life. What we do is we act out of the grace of God, demonstrating that our alignment with the Spirit brings that about in us. So we just love being here. I love Sundays. Do you love Sundays? I love Sundays. Fantastic. Welcome, live streamers. Please join in our unity blessing. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. Statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence. And I am one with that presence and power. I want to thank Barbara, who put this PowerPoint together, and she has decided it's fall.
Yay!
You can see by the leaves there. So I joined in on the fun, and I wore my fall tie. See, so this looks like it's actually leaves that have been pinned to a green tie, but this is actually for fall itself. Welcome to fall. Welcome. And so why don't we do our community today? How about you? Would you like to do that, Charmaine? Fantastic. Come on. Good to see you, Charmaine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Michelle, awesome job.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. And yes, I don't know what happened to autumn. I had to get my summer clothes back out. So it is what it is. We'll enjoy it and then move on. So good morning. What a wonderful day to be here together. Thank you for your presence. Always just so nice to join together in fellowship and companionship, to be inspired, to nosh a little bit in fellowship. Our vision statement is aligned with Worldwide Ministries. Please join with me in affirming our vision. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Becoming that vision translates into us becoming the channel for the divine in action. Please join with me in affirming our mission. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, passion, and love, using practical spiritual principles. And please join with me in affirming our core values: creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. And each of these statements are located at the front of the bulletin. They represent our intention as a ministry. And inside your bulletin is our monthly calendar. And please remember to check your bulletin and the Unity Pasadena website calendar for all the latest happenings. Today is the second Sunday of the month. Hospitality is hosted by those whose last names start with DEFGHIJ. And next week is the third Sunday of the month. So people with the last names that begin KLMNOPQR are asked to provide hospitality. Please remember to arrive a few minutes early to set up, and remember to stay a few minutes after to help us clean up. And thank you for each and every one who brings something to share, who serve, who clean up, And food and fellowship is just always a great way to build those communications. October birthdays. Please stand if you are marking the anniversary of another trip around the sun this month.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you.
And I'm marking 65. It is 2 weeks until our chili cook-off on Oktoberfest here at Unity of Pasadena. Saturday, October 21st, starting at 11 in the morning. Reservations are $20. We're soliciting items for the silent auction. If you know of a business that might be interested in donating to this event, please see Amanda. Amanda has handouts that you can give to the businesses. Amanda, can you stand up, please? The letters are signed by Reverend Greg, and they let them know that we're a nonprofit like tax. Coming around, cash and check reservations, and you can also sign up online with your credit or debit card. No Sojourner Workshop is Saturday, November 4th from 11 to noon. Registration is $25. Many of you saw and maybe even purchased Luann's journals last year. We put samples out on the events table. This is going to be a really fun morning for the crafty and not so crafty. Luann is supplying all the materials, but if you have a couple of favorite memories or textiles or fabrics or ribbons that you want to bring in, you can bring in. I'm also going to be coming around for cash and check reservations on that, so I will be two-fisting the sign-ups, so I only interrupt your meal once. You can sign up online, remember, with your credit or debit. We're going to leave that workshop with 3 journals that you can either keep or give away as gifts. So it'll be a lot of fun, food, we'll spread out in the fellowship hall. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, Ben. And then the following Saturday on November 11th from 10 to noon, Reverend Greg is going to be giving a revised Way of Life class. There's no fee for this class. There is a sign-up sheet, however. We want to make sure that we have enough handouts and materials for everyone. So make sure that you do sign up. And just as a reminder, it's a great review if you're already a member. If you're a participant, a congregant, you can also participate. Sorry, my brain got ahead of my mouth. And if you're just interested in what are community principles, I want to know more. Get to have Reverend Greg for 2 hours talking about that. So awesome.
And if you've taken it before, this is different. It's got a whole host of new material for you to ponder and to practice, and so it'll be a lot of fun. If you've done it before, come on again. There's no charge. We have a love offering basket if you'd like to give. Yeah, that way, that's wonderful. But please make it a good Saturday.
Also, a reminder, if you are considering becoming a member here at UF Pasadena, is a prerequisite membership. Our prayer chaplain today is Luann. She's going to lead the presentation. But first, in preparation, Anita is going to. Thank you.
Charmaine and I have known each other a long time. This daily word was really interesting to me. Yesterday, I kind of was meditating, I guess, before I woke up, and the thought of what we're talking about in the word today came to my mind yesterday. And I'm laying in bed, and I work. Well, I'm about my job, and there's a lot of love and support for that I work. And we pray together at times, and honest to God, we do, even in an office. And then there's I work for a credit union, and there's other credit unions. I used to be the secretary for the North LA chapter of the Credit Union Collectors Council. And there are 3 people, friends of mine, that are ministers. And one even owns a repossession agency. and he prays with people when they come to get the cars. When they redeem their cars, he always like my brother. So, anyhow, this was perfect. And it makes, I'm going to be 70 and I can't afford to retire. But it makes going to work a joy. And this is really a gift. It's a gift from God. The presence of God unites us as we work, play, and pray together. Joining with others to work makes the job easier. No kidding. Joining together for fun multiplies the enjoyment. Camaraderie, cooperation, and support of togetherness give a boost and brightens my mood. Dwelling Christ's presence is alive in all people everywhere. When I work, play, or play with others, something greater than the sum of our individual efforts and insights results. Divine love that binds us multiplies as we recognize it in one another, give it fuller expression in ourselves. Work becomes more productive, play more enjoyable, and prayer more fulfilling. Together, we produce more good work and feel more joy and happiness than any of us could accomplish on our own. Bible verse today, Matthew 18:20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. But I lose myself when I feel I've lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that sets me free. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Um, okay, okay. I invite you to the mercy. Yeah. Okay. God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine presence, grant that I may not so much seek soul as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in hardening that we are hardened, and it is through grace that we are given eternal life. I did my, usual research in Truth Unity, and I found a wonderful book called Grace Awakening that I got the idea for today. And I was talking about it with Greg this morning because I was about it. And there's prayer and meditation and silence. I'm still not entirely on the distinction between them, if there even needs to be one. But Ray pointed out in the whole theme of the service today, we're always in prayer, which means communion. We're always in, no matter what it is, or that's our here, there, the other place work. And I liked what this booklet said, that meditation is thinking of God or, its, whatever nature and one's relationship to that. And I'm really starting to prefer, like divine intelligence or something instead of God, or I should say, in addition to God. And this book suggested, and I thought it was a good idea, that in meditation we focus on the consciousness that I am is in union with the great I am. And I really like that, I'm really getting clearer on the fact that we just need to get out of the way of ourselves to let all that stuff out. And meditation is not a time for fear or for worry. I love what Luke says all the time is that we're safe. So we are safe here. There's no worry. There's no fear. So I invite you to take into the silence today maybe an aspect of the fruit of the Spirit, which I really like: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And I like the point that Paul makes, that against such things, no one's made a law against any of those things, And so let's go into the silence for a couple of minutes. And I invite you to focus on I am, or one of the fruits of the Spirit. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
The next song I would like to sing for you is a song I chose by Leslie Griffiths, which is a favorite of Luann's. Hope you enjoy it. This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made up is coming in, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is a moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming and screaming become one. This is the day, see it sparkle and shine, when all I live for becomes mine. For all these years, I faced the world alone. Now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, we'll beat the odds, and we'll never, we'll sit forever in odds. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all.
And when you say this is the moment, you mean this is the moment.
This is the moment.
Yeah, this is the moment. Yeah. So that was the moment, but this is the moment too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm starting to see how that works. You guys see how that works? Yeah. So present moment experience. Isn't that wonderful? Having that present moment experience requires that we be awake and aware right now. Right now. So what I want you to do is just start to gaze around and see the plants and name them if you can in your own mind. See the stained glass windows in the wall and the vines that are climbing up so beautifully. The sunlight as it plays against and the shadows as they play against the wall. Just beautiful stuff. Stay in that moment and feel being in the moment, what it is like to see those things. And recognize that when you are in that present moment, you are in what I call the intention dimension. Now, there are other ways to get into it too. You see, there's sound that can get too. So I'm going to do this. Do that with me. Put your hand above your head. All right. You are having a present moment experience. You are in the now right now. The present is incredibly important in understanding how to make intentions work for you. And so I call the intention dimension the present moment. So there are lots of things that go on in our lives, and we're not sure why these things go on or don't go on in our lives until we actually take a good look at them. And those things are what it is that we have wanted to have come about in our lives, or what it is we don't want to have happen in our lives. And they continue to happen, or they don't happen, and we kind of wonder why. You know, we had this fleeting thought that we wanted to see something show up in our life. And we even said to ourselves, gosh, I'd like to have that. Or I'd like to feel like that. Or I'd like to do that. And nothing ever came of it. Or you have this idea that maybe something that you're thinking is, not something that you want to hold on to. You say, I'm not going to think that way anymore. I'm not going to have these negative thoughts. I'm not going to connect with, at a deep level, this negativity that drags me down. Yet you continue to do it. And you wonder why, even though you told yourself you're not going to do it or you are going to do it, it doesn't happen. Well, there may be better ways for us to get to where we want to go. And when I was thinking about this, in determining what it is I wanted to talk about, I thought about intention being an incredibly powerful tool for us. Intention. I started to pull some quotes out of intention. And I found Oprah Winfrey, who, by the way, has a lot of things that a lot of people want. I mean, she's a billionaire, first of all. I mean, I don't know if you want $1 billion, but I got to tell you, I did play lottery the other day. I don't have $1 billion, by the way. But if I did, I would share it. That would be the intent behind receiving it. Because I think that in my research around lottery winners, a lot of them are unhappy. They somehow end up winning but losing in the end. I don't know exactly how that happens, but I want to find a way to use all that money in the best way possible, not only to make other people happy, but make myself happy. So that would be my intention on that. And so Oprah has that. She already has that ability, And she says that all she ever wanted in life was to be of service. That was her intention. She just wanted to be of service, and look what happened. So many things occurred. So she says, intention rules every outcome. Oh, I like that. Intention rules every outcome. One of her good friends, Gary Zukav, who wrote The Seed of the Soul. Anybody ever read that book? Yeah, I have too. And I really like Gary Zukav. He's got one of these quiet voices that lets you know that he's gone through some things that have allowed him to see a different side of life. And he talks about that. He talks about wanting to be the most authentic Gary he can be. He wants to have authentic spiritual experiences. He wants to be an authentic thinker, and uses that word authentic all the time. And I'll talk about it in what I had to do to understand a little more about what authentic is. I dig into stuff that I don't quite get. Gary Zukav says the energy we put out into the world is the energy we get back. Well, that's a law of reciprocity, which allows us to understand that what we sow shall we receive. And it's been said in so many ways. There are biblical verses that talk about that exactly. But we recognize that the love we give is generally returned. Things that we give to the world are returned back to us manyfold. There's a verse in the Bible which says, pressed down and overflowing. When we give, we receive in an amount which is greater than that which we've given. Pressed down and overflowing, meaning that there's a lot coming back to you. You're giving the heart, giving from that loving space in you. So Gary Zukav first says that. The energy we put out into the world is the energy we get back. And then he goes further and says, with that in mind, intention is energy. A quality of consciousness. Intention is at the heart of creating authentic power. Intention is at the heart of creating authentic power. A woman by the name of Kristen Armstrong said it very, very well, I think. She says, we either live with intention or exist by default. I like that. We either live by intention or exist by default, which means that we just allow things to happen to us and dodge bullets, sort of. Exist by default. Whatever's given to you, you take. Whatever's thrown at you, want or don't want it, dodge it or catch it. But you're not the cutting edge of your own life. You're not creating what it is that you're experiencing in life from day to day. You're having it thrown at you, living by default. I think that's interesting. You're either living with intention or existing by default. Then we have one that I think is responsible for me calling the present moment the attention dimension. It's Ansel Adams. Probably know Ansel Adams by his photography. A man of few words, but many pictures. He charted areas that can be characterized only as some of the most beautiful. He went to places that we don't even know how he got to. Took pictures in areas that had to be dangerous, incredibly dangerous. But he had this desire to do something that was important. He said, it is my intention to be present. What he meant by that was, in order to do the best work I can possibly do, I have to be present. I have to notice. I have to see things that I wouldn't see unless I was, clap hands, present, aware, awake. And so when he's present, he's in the intention dimension, meaning he can form an attention. He can put his attention on it and he can take action. That's the intention dimension where things start to move in a direction where they become the reality of your life. The intention dimension. Kind of a cool little phrase, huh? But I made that up. I looked up on the internet after I made it up and I thought, I wonder who's used that. And nothing. Nothing. So I guess I can put up one of those little T's behind it, the trademark or something. Who knows, right? I don't know. So Greg Dorst says there is an intention dimension. And then Reverend Greg also says being fully present is the intention dimension. That's my quote for the day. Being fully present is the intention dimension. So with all that in mind, I thought, I'd better set an intention for today's talk. If I'm going to be talking about intention and how we have to be present and set it, I had better do that myself. This talk is about today. So my intention behind the talk, helping each of us to be who we want to be in this world. My intention through this talk is helping us to be, through an understanding of how we create in this life, to be who we want to be in this world. Now, I don't know what you want to be in this world, but I want to help you be it. I really do. And you're going to be making some decisions as to what it is you want to be. And in fact, hopefully you've been making them all along, rather than allowing life to unfold by default. I have to say, I, in fact, allowed life to unfold by default in certain very key areas. I did not become a lawyer because I wanted to be a lawyer. I became a lawyer because my first wife thought I should. Now, if that's not default, I don't know what is. It wasn't her fault, but that was by default. And it just seemed like the next thing to do after I heard it. And so I stepped into that, not because it was my intention to become that, although it was my intention to do the best I could in school after I stepped in, because I don't like to fail, and I didn't forget. I'm pretty good at that, pretty good at school, and so I felt comfortable there no matter how hard it was. But I have lived life by default. But I set an intention in the things that I do today, because I know that when I do that, that I am able to pretty much guarantee, if I do it right, that what I'm looking for will unfold. Maybe not today, but if I keep doing it, perhaps tomorrow, and the next day, perhaps the next day. But as I step into the habit of moving alongside and with and in alignment with my intention, then things seem to happen the way I want them to happen. I'm on the cutting edge of my own life. And I want you to be there with you too. I want you to be able to create what it is you want. So there are three things about this intention dimension that are really, really important. So once you set an intention, and I think it's a great idea to set an intention when you have an opportunity. You can do it today, or think about it, or have some research that you can look at around what it is you might want to do to set this intention. But it has to be clear. The intention has to be, meaning there can't be things that you're totally unsure about. It can't be too vague. It's got to be clear enough for you to understand what it is that you really, really would like to see show up in this world. So your intention has got to be clear. The second thing you've got to have with your intention is positivity. So what I mean by that is in the phrasing. Rather than saying, I will not be angry at my coworkers any longer, which is on the negative side of what you really like to see, which is a harmonious, compassionate, loving, caring relationship with all of your coworkers. You phrase it in a way which drives the negativity. You phrased it in a way which says, I don't want these things to happen. Funny how this works, but somewhere in our subconscious mind, we do not track the word don't. Somewhere down here inside of us, don't doesn't seem to matter. So it is those negative things that we start to do and continue. If we find ourselves setting an intention that's negative. It's just an interesting observation in life. So we set positive intentions. We want the intentions to be positive. If what you wanted to do was to make sure that you had the greatest relationship possible with coworkers or a coworker that has been difficult to deal with, then you will want to set that intention as a loving, caring, compassionate, patient relationship. Not taking things personally, understanding, empathetic. Those beautiful words that allow us to have great relationships, to be the listener rather than the person that pushes themselves into a conversation. So, you might want to use those kinds of tips in order to put forth a positive intention. And you also want to write it down. You want to write your intention down. So, in ministerial class, every single one of our teachers, on my way to the community ordination process, every single one of my teachers prior to class had us set an intention as a group. Every single one of us in that group, in that classroom, set an intention for what we were going to do in this class and what we expected through this intention to receive. And we prayed on that. We prayed on the intention. First of all, we prayed on what it is that we needed to set as the intention so that we would be clear on it, and then we worked together to develop that intention. And each class had an intention. Now, I happen to know something about intentions. And my research was able to bear this out. There's an element that you must always have if you want your intentions to supersize, meaning move forward in a way that is really, really important for you. And that is attention. If you put your attention on something, it expands. Have you ever noticed that? If you put your attention on whatever it is, you put your attention on something, it expands. So if you want to see something expand in your life, put some attention. So you start with your intention, and then you put your attention on it. Meaning, you take a look at it because it's written down. You go over it in the morning in your morning meditation. You take a moment each day, maybe several moments each day, to say that intention to yourself. To sort of, see where you're making it work, maybe not making it, where you could make it work better. See where you're in alignment. To see where whatever it is that you'd like to see showing up is not being blocked by the things that you're thinking and doing. Because so many times what we say is, we'd like to go right, but go left. I would like to do this, but no. So, attention. The attention makes your intention expand. Well, you can have all the attention or to something and intention about something that you can muster and still not do anything. You know, you can have all of those things going for you. The start has begun. The seed has been planted, but you fail to act, and so it doesn't happen for you. So in this intention dimension, that is the present moment experience, we have to set the intention, put our attention on it, and then act on it. That's the intention dimension. Now let's take a look at this and see where we really are on it, because we're in a spiritual place right now. We're in Unity of Pasadena's sanctuary, and so I kind of picked sort of an intention that might be in alignment, church idea. So let's suppose my intention is to be spiritually fit. Let's suppose, as I begin to place my attention on this intention of becoming spiritually fit, I prepare for action. But I'm not really sure, because I don't have full clarity on what being spiritually fit is. So, I may need to elaborate on that a little more for myself. I may need to take a look at some things. And in this process of believing that spiritual fitness is something that I'd like to see in my life unfold at all times, I decided I'd take a look at some things that became really important to me in this process. And one of the things was that word authentic. That word authentic that Gary Zukav used, I said I'm going to come back to that. We're going to talk about that for just a moment. Now, what does that word authentic mean? Who is the authentic Greg, What is authentic spirituality? What is it about authenticity that makes it so special? I found out that Gary Zukav, along with some other really, really great writers, have determined that motive has something to do with whether or not it's an authentic request. Do you want it just for yourself, or you want it for others? If you want it for the benefit of the world, if you want it for something that's going to benefit the world. I mean, there are all sorts of there's a panoply of ideas behind what the motive might be when you're setting this intention. So I wanted to be authentically spiritually fit. Does that make sense? I want to be authentically. I don't want to be spiritually fit so people go, wow, that guy is humble. That guy is spiritual. That might happen based upon some clothes you see somebody wearing. Or a lot of people say, bless you all the time. And I'm not downing them. That's all they say. Bless you, bless you, bless you. And you get the idea that there is a spiritual desire in their heart, and they want you to know that it's there. The motive is important in authentic spirituality. Interesting. And then I found this reading. It was set forth by an Anglican priest. And this Anglican priest decided that he would kind of rail on people for a moment. You'll hear that. Who step into this realm of spiritual fitness without being authentic. He says the reason, by the way, his name is Dominic Hankel. He's an Anglican priest. Father Dominic Hankel, Hankale. He's alive still. The reason people cannot embrace a spiritual life is because those who talk about spiritual matters are so inauthentic. In their inauthenticity might not even be, and their inauthenticity might not even be something they realize Because by focusing solely on what is spiritual, they forget to embrace their physical, emotional, mental, and relational lives. Here's where he gets down to defining the authentic spiritual being. The true spiritual person cares for their body and the physical world around it, challenges their mind to think more clearly, deeply, and profoundly about all questions, not just spiritual questions, learns to understand their emotions and the emotions of others, and cares for the human relationships they share with other people. In fact, there is no such thing as a purely spiritual person divorced from all these other things. Because human beings are not merely ghosts in a machine. They are holistic creatures in which body, mind, emotions, relationships, and the spirit are so tightly integrated that one intimately impacts the other. Do you want to grow spiritually? Then choose a healthy lifestyle, caring for all of creation. Learn to think profoundly about a great many things. Care for how others feel about things, and develop a deep and meaningful relationship with people. After you've done these things, you begin to talk about spiritual matters. Ooh, I thought that was so interesting. And the reason why I thought it was so interesting was not why you might think. I mean, it's a great description of how, spiritual matters are everything. From soup to nuts, everything you see, everything you feel, everything you are, all that is, your physical self, your emotional self, your social self, your cognitive awareness and ability, your ability to stay in the present moment, all of those things have to do with your spiritual self. It's not just that you can breathe in and relax and breathe out, find your mind. It's not just that. It is a relationship with the total life. And the description, I think, is amazing. And I'll tell you who I think it describes. I think it describes the work Jesus did in the world. I think it describes the attention he paid to people who were suffering, the compassion he showed when people were lonely or sick or needy or were poor and hungry. I think it shows a complete connection with not only the spiritual world, but the physical world, the emotional aspects of it, as well as the relational aspect. Interesting, huh? And then I started thinking, what an amazing intention to be able to live this way, authentically, spiritually. And how unity asks that of us. That's really what unity asks us to do, is to live the life Jesus did the best we possibly can, to our best ability. It's to use Jesus as the example, not the great exception. Not to say, well, of course the Son of God can do those things. I mean, he said specifically that ye shall do these things and step into this. See life for what it is. Be this way. So I think that description right there is a description of what Jesus did in the world. But I don't think he said that because he wanted to mimic that. I think it becomes something that if you understand it, you can see it. And if you can see it, you can be it. And if you put your attention on this intention and you be this in the world, then you have mastered the intention dimension. Wow, this stuff is so interesting to me. I hope it is. It's a way of being, not just doing. Well, it's actually where being and doing meet one another in this present moment experience. I love that present moment experience. Okay. I need to say one more thing before I sit down. That is the God in me. That God in me that is me as me recognizes the God in you that is you as you. Namaste. Thank you. let's see. We have Millie Ann Ushing today. Now, I have told you before that my mother's name is Millie, right? Yes. And you know, the smile on your face is absolutely, and it reminds me of my mother's best day. So thank you for doing that. I absolutely appreciate it. So we have a bunch of people who are on today, and the first one on the list is Jackie. Yay! So, darling, it's so good to see you. I mean, I see you in my mind. See, Jackie was known as a manipulation on her new knee because she had a little extra scar tissue that had developed because she was healing so quickly. And it had developed before she was able to get full extension and be able to bring her range of motion. Right, she needed to increase her range. So the doctor put her under and manipulated her knee, which means that it tears the scar tissue, muscles, and keeps it moving back and forth. And they have to put you under for that because it's so painful. And they did that. And so she is working every single day, many times a day, on her range of motion. So rather than sit here today, we figured it was a better thing to work on her range of motion to watch virtually. So she is on the virtual screen. We also have Colleen. Colleen, I hope Illinois is working for you. We sure miss you here. And we have Sue and Ron, hopefully, too. And we have Marcia, and we have Karen, and we have so many more that will join us. We had last week's service, we had about 60 views at last count. Yeah, it's not bad. So not just on Facebook Live, but we're seeing it on YouTube, because we do Facebook Live on YouTube. So I mention that because I think live streaming is a way to go to get ourselves out there whenever somebody needs what it is that we have to. So really that. But it's also a way that you can take a look at these things if you want a refresher on what it is I said today. I mean, you might want that. I don't know. But if you want that, you can get that 3 ways. You can go to YouTube and get it right away because it's posted up on YouTube almost immediately. You can do the same thing with Facebook Live if you go to our Unity of Pasadena Facebook page. Or you can go to our website and by tomorrow sometime, we'll have a podcast posted up, which will be just the talk itself. So we have those 3 ways you can access what it is we talked about today so that you can practice it in a way that's most comfortable. So, Anna, thank you for being here. I mean, I just love it. It is what makes my day. So thank you, everybody, for showing up here. And today, we have the ability to give according to our intention, which I believe is also to create and maintain a vibrant place of connection, of goodness, of caring, where we practice principles that are so important to us in such a way that we become a magnet for others, in such a way that this community feels it. They feel the consciousness emanating from this space. I mean, I can feel that in my heart. I know that what's coming from here is magnificent. We have a lot of very feeling in this room. And those people are here today because they say there's something special about this place. Right, Lonnie?
Right.
Absolutely. And so we know that to be the case. And we support what we know to be the case. And we do it through our community giving. So if you feel called to do so, do it with us. Please say with me our community. God is the source of my overflowing supply. I am. So it is. Thank you. All right.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors, the let in the light. Bring in the dawn for new mankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm holding it in. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I'm gonna say what I hear and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about smiles, it's about love and kindness and hearts so fine. It's about love and passion and taking a chance. It's about love and service and lending a hand. It's about lending a hand. Swing wide doors of time. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for mankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart. There's a voice that I heard. I tried to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming loud and clear. I wanna deep alive. It's about love, it's about laughter, comfort and smiles. It's about love and kindness and hearts so fine. It's about love and service and lending a hand. It's about love and passion and lending a hand. It's about lending a hand. Everybody swing wide the doors of time's pride. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart. Swing wide the doors of this heart of
Get a chance to bless these tithes and treasures and promise to use them with integrity, to bring about a magnificent community within the walls of the community of Pasadena and the community at large, the cities, the counties, the states, the country, the world that's in turmoil. We bring peace to that world. We bring a consciousness of love and caring, compassion, and peace. We step into this moment and know that all is well. So it's with great thanksgiving that I release these words into the log line and accept these tithes and treasures on behalf of the Pasadena. Please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. So much. All right, well, we're going to do the silent unity prayer for protection, and we're going to stand up in order to do that. And as we do, I want to say a special hello to Joan Anderson. And I'm thinking that, Wendy, you brought her, right? I haven't seen Joan in a long time. Joan, you look marvelous. Oh, it's so good to see you. Now, so Joan is a fabulous cook. She has, over the years, been responsible for many calories that I have taken in. And I thank you so much. See, food is love for Joan. Food is love. And so we're going to love you right back. We're going to have magnificent food today, so please stick around for that. Thank you. So good to see you. So good to see all of you. Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so let's do the silent unity of prayer for protection, and then we're going to sing what?
We're going to sing I Choose Love.
I choose love. Okay, let's do this. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am well, and all is divine. Traditional.
growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are all one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are all. One choice unites us. Is either one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.